Hi everyone, welcome to my Shoreline Studio. I'm Sybille Muschik. Today it's snippet time again, and I'm going to rework a little tree that I did. It's on bond paper, so it'll probably give us a bit of trouble, but you'll get the idea. And these make great Christmas cards. They're pretty fast and lots of fun as usual. So we're just going to go through a couple of the things that we'll be working with. This is a sponge, just a tree stencil. This is a Tyvek mask so that I can block out the tree as I'm working on it. And of course my trusty brayer. This is a speedball, and my Baron, and then a variety of paints that I'll talk about as we're working with them. Well, once I'd taken the light box off, I noticed my gold wasn't quite gold enough, so we're going to remedy that right now. So I'm going to put more gold on the plate and roll it out. And I have my little round plate still here. I've cleaned it off in the meantime. And this is the folk art metallic. We'll be working with some of the folk art paints. So I've cut myself a little mask. We're going to put that on there and just hold it in place. And then we're going to use this plate as a stamp. I have a little slop here which we can fix. And then we're just going to put this on here. Line it up carefully. It might need a couple of more passes, but I think we'll see what happens. And just use my little Baron. And that works pretty good. And we'll just reserve this. And we have our outline of the tree. It's a bit bigger here. I don't know what happened when, I guess when I was doing the other transfer. So we just let that dry a little bit, and it's a much nicer color, as you can see. So we got to work on the tree a little bit. So I'm going to put some more the Crown Jewels accent color on here, and we'll mix it with a little bit of folk art metallic ice blue. Just have a little plastic plate that it fits on. And then we're just going to use a little makeup sponge. And just, it's a bit tricky doing this, so you just have to pounce it. And then you pounce it on here. Otherwise it creeps underneath your little stencil. Now this would be ideal, just cut out and put on the Christmas card. Pretty well what it's meant for. And I'm going to use a little tool here for giving it a little bit of texture. Now be careful you don't move it like I just did. And so you just scrape some stuff in there. We'll move this out of the way. We'll see how that works. It just looks like branches on the tree. Gives it a little bit more interest. And then, again, we'll stamp it on there. Just line up your circle because everything else is lined up. Turn it over. Rub the back. I love my little Baron because it really makes things much easier. Just checking on edges. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's a good start. I think we need to do it one more time. Maybe we'll use a little bit of the darker stuff. Just a hint more of this. This is ice blue. If it's going to come out on me. There, just a dip. And again, lining up the... It may not have taken so much because the gold is probably still a little bit damp, but it looks pretty good. Just pouncing. You sort of pounce it off so you don't get too much paint on. You don't want it creeping under the little stencil. Tricky. One thing you can do so it's a little less uncooperative is to spray the back with a spray adhesive, and then it will just stay on the plate, but I haven't done that, so we're just gonna run with the hounds here. And again, using it as a stamp, lining things up. Now I'm doing this on bond paper, so it's about 90 pound, not really the best possibilities here. We'll work on another one shortly, and it's my handmade paper, and I think it will be a little more successful, so we'll see if we can rack this one off. Now that's quite nice. And of course, you can embellish it, you know, with little stick-on bubbles and things. Sometimes things look really nice just plain, but you can add, I'm not sure you can see the texture of you can see the shimmer maybe a little bit on the camera. And when it dries, then some of these lumps and bumps will flatten out. Okay, so that's a good start. So I have these cute little squares, and I'm going to just use some GAC 100, and that will give us enough time to position them. GAC is a medium that hardens and also acts like a glue. And it'll give us a bit of working time. So once it dries, the little squares, metal squares, will be in position and nothing is going to move them. So I thought it'd be really clever and you could pick it up with a wet brush, but you can't. And maybe, oh, it works like that. So a little bit of medium on your finger and you can, and then just position them. There we go, that works really good. Just place them wherever you want. As many or as few as you want. And there are also little baubles that you could put on. I just thought they're really kind of cute. And once they dry, they won't be matte. So we just, there we go. And you could probably use the end of a brush to position them a little bit better. Probably the more the merrier. And the more haphazard, the better too. Put one on top, maybe almost like a star. There we go, we're getting there. Get down. I think we're doing pretty good here. So that finishes off our little tree, and I think that's a delightful way of doing it. So this is the one on handmade paper, and it just needs that second coat of the gold, and then we'll work with the tree a little bit and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to roll the gold out on my 5x7 plate. That's the size of the, you can see the nice decal edges. This is really good handmade paper. That's the back of it. All right, so let's put some gold on. We're covering everything up because it's not going to be so drastic. So that's quite nice. We've just got a goldy sheen on top of everything, which works fine. We haven't lost the sparkles on the, and we're just going to do the green again. So quickly, and we'll mix the this is the crown jewel accent, and we'll mix the gold in there. And just rub it through like that. And then I have my little makeup sponge, and you just do a little bit for the stencil and just pounce it in there. Tap it off, pounce it in there. You could probably let some of the gold shine through. We'll see what that looks like. We can always do another layer. And we'll finish it off with a few little baubles. And I think I can put the little embellishments on while it's wet because it's sticky, tacky, and it should work. And there's our tree. It's got a little bit of a halo, but that's good. So now I just put my finger in the GAC. This is the GAC 100 golden. And we're just going to sprinkle some of these guys on there. Maybe like a little garland. sticking to my finger. That's okay. And I can probably push them into position with the end of my brush. There we go. And a few more here. Finicky stuff, but it's kind of fun. There we go. Oops. We lost our star. There we go, and that finishes that one off. So there you go, another little snippet. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and bye for now.